Hope you all are doing well. Let us discuss today topic, that is the right atrium. Now I am drawing the anterior aspect of the heart. Okay, this is the right atrium, right ventricle and the left ventricle. Okay, and here we have the pulmonary trunk and this is the arch of aorta and the ascending aorta. Okay, and the superior vena cava and the inferior vena cava, both are opens into the right atrium. Okay, superior vena cava and the inferior vena cava. Okay, so this right atrium, it is the somewhat quadrilateral shaped chamber which is present right side and behind the right ventricle. Externally, this right atrium, it is separated by the right ventricle by a groove. It is called as anterior AV groove, atrioventricular groove. This groove is large as the right coronary artery. This right coronary artery is supplies the whole of the blood, whole of the heart. Okay, and next, this right atrium, it forms the 1/3 of the base, whole of the right border, and also forms the part of the sternocostal surface. So this right atrium forms the 1/3 of the base and also forms the sternocostal surface and also forms the whole of the right border of the heart. So that is about the introduction about this right atrium. Next, coming to what is the extent of this right atrium? Extent. So this right atrium is extends from this orifice of the superior vena cava to the orifice of the inferior vena cava. This orifice of the superior vena cava is which lies behind the right third costal cartilage. Okay, and this orifice of the inferior vena cava is which lies behind the right sixth costal cartilage. So the extent of the right atrium is which is extends from the orifice of the superior vena cava to the orifice of the inferior vena cava, which lies on behind the right third costal cartilage, and this orifice of the inferior vena cava is which lies behind the right sixth costal cartilage. So that is the extent of this right atrium. Okay, next, coming to what are the external features of this right atrium. Okay, so the external features, the most important thing is this right auricle and the sulcus terminalis. So the right auricle, it is a conical shaped muscular projection. Okay, it is a conical shaped muscular projection from the superior aspect of the right atrium towards the left side, that is towards the ascending aorta. Okay, that is the right auricle. Because of its shape, it is called as right auricle. Auricle means ear shaped. Okay, that is the right auricle. Next, coming to the sulcus terminalis. It is a shallow groove. Okay, it is a groove which is present along the whole of the right border of the right atrium. Okay, internally the sulcus terminalis corresponds with the crista terminalis. So the sulcus terminalis is which is present. It is a groove which is present along the whole border of the right atrium, extends from the superior vena cava opening to the inferior vena cava opening. So these are the external features, right auricle and the sulcus terminalis. Next, coming to the what are the relations, external relations of these right atrium, external relations. So the external relations, anteriorly we will have the mediastinal surface of the right lung. Okay, the mediastinal surface of the right lung along with the pleura, and the posterior, anteriorly the mediastinal surface of the lung and the pleura. Posteriorly on the right side we will have the right pair of pulmonary veins. Okay, posteriorly on the right side we will have the right pair of pulmonary veins. On the left side we will have the left atrium. Okay, on the left side we will have the left atrium. Next, coming to the laterally. Okay, laterally we will have the pericardium, then we will have the phrenic nerve, pericardiophrenik vessels on the lateral side. Medially you will have this pulmonary trunk and the ascending aorta. These are the external relations of the right atrium. Okay, all of you clear? Next, coming to the what are the internal features of this right atrium. If you cut the right atrium, you will get the picture like this. This is the right AV orifice. Here we will have the opening of the inferior vena cava, superior vena cava orifice. Okay, first this interior of this right atrium is divides into two parts by the crista terminalis. Okay, by the crista terminalis. So this crista terminalis divides the interior of the right atrium into two parts. These are the posterior smooth part. It is called as the sinus venerum, and the anterior rough part. It is called as atrium proper. Okay. First we will discuss about the posterior smooth part, that is the sinus venerum. Okay. This posterior smooth part sinus venerum, it includes I already told you, this right atrium is the quadrilateral chamber. So it has the posterior wall, anterior wall and the right wall and the septal wall towards the interatrial septum. So this posterior smooth part, it occupies the whole of the posterior wall and the part of the right wall. So the characteristic features of these posterior smooth part, the sinus venerum, are the opening of the superior vena cava. Okay, the first one is the posterior opening of the superior vena cava. The orifice, the opening of the superior vena cava, where it is opens in the upper and the posterior part of this right atrium. Okay, it is opens at the upper and posterior part of the right atrium. And superior vena cava collects the whole of the venous blood from the upper part of the body. Okay, and it is not guarded by any valves. Okay, that is about the opening of the superior vena cava. The next one is the opening of the inferior vena cava. Okay. So where it is present? It is present lower and posterior part of the right atrium. What is the function of this inferior vena cava? It drains the whole of the venous blood from the lower part of the body and drains into the right atrium. So this opening of the inferior vena cava is guarded by one semilunar valve. Okay, it is guarded by one semilunar valve. This semilunar valve, the convex margin which is attached to the anterior margin of this opening of the inferior vena cava. So it has two margins, convex margin and concave margin. Okay, the convex margin which is attached to the anterior margin of the opening of the inferior vena cava, and the concave margin which is project into the cavity of the right atrium. And also this valve has the two horns, right horn and the left horn. Okay, right horn and the left horn. The right horn is above, it is continuous with the crista terminalis. Okay, the left horn above, it is continuous with the limbus fossa ovalis. What is that? We will discuss now. Okay, that is about the opening of the inferior vena cava. So the valve of the inferior vena cava is named as Eustachian valve. Okay, it is nothing but it is the duplication of the endocardium. Okay, it is nothing but formed by duplication of the endocardium. Next, coming to the opening of the coronary sinus. So what is coronary sinus? It is the wide venous channel which drains the 60% of the venous blood of the heart. Okay, it is the wide venous channel. It drains 60% of the venous blood from the heart. Okay, where it is present? It is present left to the opening of the inferior vena cava. Okay, it is present left to the opening of the inferior vena cava. So here we will have the opening for the coronary sinus. Okay, this coronary sinus is also, it is guarded by one valve. It is called as Thebesian valve. Okay, Thebesian valve. Next, coming to the foramina venerum minimerum. Okay, foramina venerum minimerum. Okay, these are the very small openings. Okay, very small openings. Foramina venerum minimerum. These are the very small openings of the small cardiac veins. Small cardiac veins. These small cardiac veins are also called as vena cardi minimi. Okay, vena cardi minimi. So all are present along the posterior smooth part of the sinus vena. Okay. Next, coming to the intervenous tubercle. So it is a muscular projection. It is a muscular projection which is present just below the opening of the superior vena cava. That is the intervenous tubercle. Intervenous tubercle. Okay. It is not prominently seen in the humans, but in the lower animals it is very prominently seen in the interior of the right atrium. So that is about the posterior smooth part, that is the sinus vena. We will have the opening of the superior vena cava, opening of the inferior vena cava, and the opening of the coronary sinus and the foramina venerum minimerum. These are all small cardiac veins openings, and intervenous tubercle. Now we will discuss about the anterior rough part. Okay. The anterior rough part is also called as atrium proper. Okay. So what are the features of this anterior rough part? The most important thing, the first one is the crista terminalis. Okay. The crista terminalis is a muscular ridge. Okay, it is the muscular ridge which is present along the whole of the interior of the right border of the heart. It extends from the orifice of the superior vena cava to the orifice of the inferior vena cava. Okay. So this crista terminalis divides the interior of the right atrium into posterior smooth part and anterior rough part. Is it now? Next, that is the crista terminalis. Next is the muscular spectrum. Okay. So these are the transverse muscular ridges. Okay. Transverse muscular ridges which are extends from the crista terminalis to the right AV orifice. Okay, these are the transverse muscular ridges which are extends from the crista terminalis to the towards the right AV orifice. Okay, that is the muscular spectrum, and it is anterior cardiac veins and the right marginal veins. These two veins are opens into these muscular spectrum. Okay, anterior cardiac veins and the right marginal veins are opens into this muscular spectrum. Okay. Next, coming to the along the septal wall. These two are present along the anterior wall. Along the septal, that is nothing but the interatrial septum, we will have the fossa ovalis. Okay, what is this fossa ovalis? It is the oval shaped depression. Okay, so here it will have the fossa ovalis. Okay, the fossa ovalis, it is the oval shaped depression which is present in the lower part of the interatrial septum. Okay, it is the remnant of the septum primum. Okay. Next, coming to the limbus fossa ovalis. Limbus fossa ovalis. What is this? So it is the crescent. It is the crescent shaped sharp margin which is present surrounding this fossa ovalis. Okay. Is the limbus fossa ovalis. Okay, the limbus fossa ovalis is it is a sharp margin which is present surrounding the anterior, upper and the posterior margins of the fossa ovalis. Okay. Next, triangle of Koch. Okay, what is triangle of Koch? So it is the triangular area. It is the triangular area which is bounded by the in front by the AV orifice. In front by the AV orifice. Above by the tendon of Todaro. Tendon of Todaro. Behind by the opening of the coronary sinus. Okay. So what is this tendon of Todaro? This tendon of Todaro is nothing but it is the subendocardial ridge which is extends from the central fibrous body of the heart to the left horn of the inferior vena cava. This is tendon of Todaro. Tendon of Todaro. Okay. So it is a subendocardial ridge which is extends from the central fibrous body of the heart to the left horn of the inferior vena cava. Okay. So what is triangle of Koch? It is the triangular area which is present between the AV orifice and tendon of Todaro and the opening of the coronary sinus. What is the importance of this triangle of Koch? is the presence of the AV node. Okay, so the AV node is which is present between this triangle, that is a triangle of Koch. Okay, next coming to the torus ioticus. So the torus ioticus, it is the elevation. Okay, so it is the cup shaped elevation which is present in the upper part of the interatrial septum, torus ioticus, which is formed by the right posterior aortic sinus. The right posterior aortic sinus, that is the non-coronary aortic sinus. Okay, that is about the torus ioticus. These are the characteristic features of the anterior of part. What are they? The crista terminalis, musculus pectini, fossa ovalis, limbus fossa ovalis, triangle of Koch, and the torus ioticus. And this limbus fossa ovalis it is formed by the lower margin of the septum secundum. Okay, it is formed by the lower margin of the septum secundum. Along with these features, we will have another one, that is the AV orifice, which connects the right atrium to the right ventricle. Okay, that is the AV orifice. That is about the interior of the right atrium. And next coming to the some embryology part of this right atrium. So the posterior smooth part, that is the sinus filarium, is formed by the embryologically the observed right part of sinus venosus. Okay, sinus venosus, and the anterior of part, it is formed by the primitive right atrium. Primitive right atrium. And the crista terminalis. Crista terminalis is formed by the upper part of the right venous valve. Right venous valve. And opening of the coronary sinus, both are formed from the lower part of the right venous valve. Lower part of the right venous valve. So that is about the embryological part of the right atrium. And next coming to the applied aspects. Okay, the applied aspects. The right auricle is the most common site for the formation of the thrombi. Right auricle is the most common site for the formation of the thrombi. And what is the propatency of foramina? What is the propatency of the foramina ovale? So in some 25% of the cases, what will happen? Above the fossa ovalis, between this limbus fossa ovalis, will have opening. Okay, this opening is anatomically it is closed. Anatomically it is closed, and anatomically it is open, and functionally it is closed. Okay, if it is opens, it is signifies the propatency of foramen ovale. Okay, patency of foramen ovale is nothing but the foramen which is present just above this fossa ovalis and between this limbus fossa ovalis. Okay, which connects this right atrium to the left atrium. These two are the applied aspect of this right atrium. Hope you understood well. Thank you all.